It's a 2-star. Okay, let me be honest. I'm on the 3rd volume right now, so it can't be a 2-star. It's no. It's definitely it's a 2-star. Hello. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am CHIOMA aka Chi, and today we're going to be talking about my recent reads. It has been a good first 2 weeks of November, let me tell you. Your girl has gotten some great reading done, some paranormal romance done, a lot of manga done, graphic novels. I make it sound like it's multiple, but it's really only one in each of those genres I just listed, which is fine. We're not here to judge. No one's here to judge you on your reading counts, none of that. We're just here to, celebrate that fact that we are out of our reading slump. So that's what we're here to do. So let's get started. So the first book I'm going to talk about. So listen, let me give you a little backstory. Your girl loves elves. Me loves elves. I've always loved elf. If I could be any paranormal creature, I'd have to be an elf with magic. So much so that my love of elves has transcended into my actual reality. If you have big ears, if you have pointy ears, we're friends. I like you. Come to my inner circle. I love it. You see, I'm Nigerian. I don't have ears. Do you see ears? Do you see ears? On me, where? These things, you call these tiny things ears. I don't see them, I can't see them. And the book I'm talking about is Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. See, I love Elise Kova. Elise Kova has never steered me wrong. Elise Kova has never steered me wrong. And again, she did not steer me wrong by having this book on Kindle Unlimited. A new release of an elf paranormal romance on Kindle Unlimited, so I get it for the free. For how much for the free? Thank you, Elise. And this book did not disappoint. It's funny. So it's one of those books where I read all the way through, and when like Kindle asks you how would you rate this, I'm like 5 stars. But then after I think about it, okay, it was a 4-star book, but I loved it. So it's supposed to be kind of a Beauty and the Beast with Hades and Persephone retelling. I don't really know Beauty and the Beast, never watched that or read that, nor do I know Hades and Persephone. Never really watched or read any Greek mythology. Your girl did not pay attention in anything but math in school, so that's why I'm the way I am. So I don't really know those stories, but this girl, she has to make a deal with the Elf King in order to save his world, the world on the other side of the Fade, which is kind of like the supernatural world. So there are vampires, there are kind of fae, there's other things, but we focus on the elves. And I love this story, and it's also a standalone. Can we take a moment on how rare standalones are in the world? How you never get standalone fantasy romance? Where they do that at. So this girl, she makes the deal with the Elf King, and she has to go live with him and also kind of restore kind of the land. So the human queen always has to wed the elf queen. It's kind of like an arranged marriage type of deal. They just have to stay in the elf world. They are a chosen one because they have magic in the human world. This is a fairy tale book. If you like fairy tales, you will love this book, because 3 years, give it 3 years, Disney is going to pick up this book and we are going to have an elf and a human, prince and princess, king and queen, because this read so much like a fairy tale. And even kind of the problem that they're trying to solve, trying to break this cycle, even that whole mystery read very much like a fairy tale, and I ate it up. I loved it. It's also standalone, and standalones I feel like are very rare, because I feel like authors kind of don't feel like they can build a world or build characters good enough in one book. That's what I find, because I always find that sequels supersede the original lately. Back in the day it wasn't always like that, but lately that has been the case. And I feel like because authors don't feel like they can build enough of the characters or the world in one book, but it was done amazing in this. The romance is so nice. I love an enemies to lovers romance. My only qualm, I wish there was more elves. Like, your girl wants elves. I wish there was more description of the other kind of elf characters, of the other kind of elf town folk. I wanted more description of pointy ears. That's what I'm living for. If I'm getting an elf, I want to see elves so strongly in my vision when I'm reading this book. So wasn't enough elf, that's my only critique, but read very much like a fairy tale. And Elise Kova is making more books in this world, not about these two main characters, Eldest and human queen. I forgot her name already, but very good. The girl was kind of angsty. The main girl was kind of angsty. I think she did have a lot of illusions of grandeur. She does have illusions of grandeur. She is kind of annoying sometimes. I don't like the whole she feels the need that she has to leave in order to prove that she is in love. I don't like that rhetoric. Reminds me very much of Boy Meets World, where Corey felt the need to kiss another girl to make sure that he loved Topanga. I'm just like, where they do that at? That don't make no type of sense. Next. So I didn't like that. But Every other part I feel like was great. Such a feel-good book. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's a lovely romance, lovely fairy tale. I ate this book up, and it was just such like reading slump dead over because of this book. The next book I read was a graphic novel, and that is Saga Volume 2. So I read Volume 1 last month, and in my wrap-up I said it was interesting. So it was kind of weird. And the same goes for this book. Yeah, kind of weird, kind of interesting. So this is the father. If you've read Volume 1, it follows a mother, father, and their daughter duo as they're trying to escape. They come from two sides of two different armies, one from a moon, one from a planet, that are currently fighting. So they kind of defected and they got married. They got married and they had a child, and now they're on the run because both sides want to kill them and take their child for their own. This is the second book. This book was a lot better than the first. I feel like a lot more happened, and also you got the backstory of the love story from the main guy, which is this guy, and his girl, which is this girl. And I read this one in real as opposed to Kindle Unlimited. And art, let me make sure nothing's raunchy, because this book, they be drawing in detail. Colorful. The story does develop a lot more. The characters develop a lot more. Something I love about this, I'm not sure who the illustrator is. So the illustrator is Fiona Staples. I need to check whether she is black, because the author of this, Brian Vaughn, is a white man, but the way they be coloring and drawing and depicting the facial features, the characters, the color, everything of these black characters, and this book written by a white man, amazing. Like not only is the main girl a woman of color, fine as heck, and deep chocolate with her afro all out. Like, I gotta check into the illustrator because she's doing the damn thing. But this book is very interesting. Goes more into the characters, the bounty hunters that are after the mother-father duo, the parents of the father. Goes into kind of the background more of the characters and kind of how they are going to escape. What is their game plan? So again, very character driven, not very plot driven, since the plot is just to escape. Very character driven, but I love the illustrations, and it's a very short read. It's very fun. So I definitely recommend Saga as a graphic novel. It does get a bit raunchy, does get a bit rated R at times, and the illustrations kind of magnify the rated R factor. And I rate this also 4 stars, so 2 4-star reads so far in November. The next 2 books I read were the first two volumes in I think a shoujo manga called Waiting for Spring, and the author, and I think the illustrator, is Anashin. I hope I'm saying that right. But this is a shoujo manga. This is a shoujo manga, and it was just adorable. Loved it. It is so adorable. I only read the first 2 volumes. I think there's 10 volumes. Only the first one's on Kindle Unlimited. I caved and bought the second one for $9.99. The other ones I gotta buy in person because I'm not spending $9.99 on the ebook. Again, a very cute shoujo manga. So it follows a girl, and she is on her quest for friends. She just is always that odd one out, and she wants to look for friends. She ends up befriending through a series of working instances and circumstances 4 boys on the basketball team. They're also kind of the 4 most popular boys. You know how shoujo goes. They're the 4 most popular boys at the school, and she ends up befriending them, and then she ends up kind of starting to have feelings for this one guy. He kind of maybe has feelings for her, and then another guy comes into the picture. It's just a cute, nice shoujo manga. It's not done too fast, and it's not done rushed. You really get good character building, good background stories on the main characters, and I think that is so key, especially in shoujo, especially when you know it's going to be a romance. You can't just be like dive in headfirst and be like, here's the romance. I really need that character building for it to be good. I really need the school. I really need side characters to also have their own plot lines. That's major key. When the side characters also have their own plot lines, major key. So I also need that, and Waiting for Spring does it amazingly. So looking for a good kind of feel good shoujo manga, Waiting for Spring is great. Now the next one is a whole nother story. So honestly, I'm not really sure of the name of this manga. It says L Love DK. L Heart DK. Obviously I should find the real name, but it's also on Kindle Unlimited, and it's not as good as Waiting for Spring. So Waiting for Spring, I'd give a solid 4 stars for a shoujo manga. Doing great so far. I'm only on volume 2, but you know, doing great so far. L Love DK is just throwing every single, here's a bag of cliches, and they're using every single one of them. You have 0 character development before the romance starts to be forced upon these 2 characters. The background story of their circumstances is not explained at all. I just feel like it's unrealistic for 2 high schoolers to both be living alone in their freshman and sophomore year of school. Unrealistic, but that is the circumstance that allows these 2 to somehow fall in love. One of their houses burned down, so they end up having to move into the studio apartment of the other high school girl, who also happens to live right across the apartment and also happens to live on their own. Why are the high schoolers still living alone? That's never given. Why does this make sense instead of them just finding a hotel or going to live back with their parents? It's not given, it's not shown. So it's kind of forced upon. I don't really recommend this manga if you're looking for something good. If you're looking for something really cheesy and cheap, yes. If you want nuance, if you want a really good story, it's not good. Am I going to finish the series? The answer is yes, because first of all, they're all in Kindle Unlimited and it's free, and you know, a romance is a romance is a romance sometimes, but is it the enjoyment factor that I want a shoujo manga? No. So hopefully things slow down and they start to develop the characters, start to develop their feelings, start to develop the background stories, more side character stories, more of something, I hope. It's a 2-star. Okay, let me be honest. I'm on the 3rd volume right now, so it can't be a 2-star. It's no, it's definitely it's a 2-star. So those are all the books I've read so far. I've read 5 volumes of manga, 1 graphic novel, and 1 regular standalone novel, and you know, I'm having a good month so far. I'm having a good month. You know, finals are next month, so I'm trying to get in all the reading I can before I lose all hope of ever reading in the month of December. Thank you for watching until now. Please let me know what you're currently reading. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, and I'll see you guys later.